Hello everyone, I am here today as elementalAlma to do a choose your own adventure pick a card reading for the Uranus station direct, and anytime you watch this will be a time that you would need to hear the information that's coming. And this is my first pick a card, so I really like pick a card readings. They're kind of fun. I used to really be into choose your own adventures when I was little, and I think that this pick a card tarot reading is really interesting and kind of the same vibe. So I will go ahead and describe the decks that I have here. So this deck is the Fountain Tarot, and the crystal that goes with this deck is a beautiful quartz that is actually really special. It is a quartz, along with all the rest of them, that I found while I was crystal hunting in Arkansas about 4 days after the total solar eclipse in April of 2024. And this crystal in particular has a lot of really special features. It has some geometric shapes here that are sort of almost like ice crystal formation looking, and it also has a bunch of crystals that have collected themselves on this ridge line, this facet. And it has this other really amazing feature, which is these two facets here. This one is in a rhomboid shape, and this one is in sort of like an emerald or marquee cut kind of facet, and the crystal itself is totally complete, so there's no broken pieces, and that pattern shape right there and these two facet edges are really rare to find in quartz. So this is a beautiful crystal. It's completely like clear pretty much. There's really no inclusions. Like I said, there are some of these crystals that have formed on top of this one ridge line, but yeah, this is such a beautiful crystal. And that is the crystal that will go with the Fountain Tarot. And then I have this one, which is another quartz crystal that is also ultra clear, and it has some iron deposits on the outside of it. And if I can get the light to shine correctly through it, you can see it actually has like a prismatic nature. There's this almost perfect square facet right here on the top. And if you look through that at the correct angle, you can see prisms of light form and rainbows in the inside of it. And this crystal will be paired with the Smith Waite, just a traditional tarot. And then this is a natural citrine spear that I found in Arkansas as well. And natural citrine is really rare to find. Most of the time it's quartz or amethyst that's been heat treated. So this in particular I found natural right out of the ground. All of these were picked right out of the ground, and the shape of it isn't entirely perfect, but it does have this really cool triangle shape to it on this facet. And yeah, the citrine color of it is like shines actually like some gold flecks when you move it around. I don't know if you can see that, but like right there, there's a little bit of a fleck that catches some of that yellow gold mineral deposit, mineral light that runs through the quartz. So yeah, this is a really beautiful natural citrine. I do have more of these. I have quite a bit of crystals actually from that haul, so if anyone's interested in purchasing any, they've only had one point of contact. That's been me, and the energy in these crystals are also like very light, almost angelic. They're really special. So this citrine will be paired with the Fields Tarot. So go ahead and pause the video if you would like and tune into each of these piles, and I will go ahead and link to the pile descriptions, so you can just fast forward into those if you would like, or you're welcome to read them in a certain order. If you feel resonating, like a resonance with more than one pile, you're welcome to do that as well. And I will see you in the video. Hello, pile 1. Thank you for being here, and you have chosen the Fountain Tarot and the clear quartz point with these really amazing shapes on the 2 facets. So I have actually never seen a quartz point like this. The minerals and rocks in Arkansas are just incredible. And this particular place where I mined these quartz was a very interesting area just up in the hills. And a friend of mine took me out there, and this was one of the most profound pieces that I found. It's got the most angelic light presence to it, and all of the quartz crystals that I found in that area had this really almost feathery energy. And I do have some for sale. I have clear quartz, white quartz, some natural citrine, and what I'm calling a white rose, which is this really beautiful light rose quartz that almost looks like a samadhi quartz from the Himalayas. It's super rare, and it's just the lightest, most beautiful energy, and has this really powerful, soft, heart-opening energy too. So if you're interested in purchasing any of these crystals and you know what specific type you want, I can send you some pictures. Just get a hold of me through the contact info in the messages or in the description below. And yeah, while I am showing you this, you are welcome to hit the like button and subscribe if you are not. And I would love it if you shared this video with some of your friends, because I would like to do more of them. And definitely leave a message below, comment below, just tell me how you like the reading afterwards, because this is my first Choose Your Own Adventure Pick a Card that I'm doing, and I hope to do more of them. So this crystal also, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got these great iron deposits, just like really light iron deposits on that one facet. So you can see through it, and it almost looks like a bloom of a flower, or a little bit of like sand from Navajo country. It's that really amazing orange desert color to it. So beautiful. So I'm going to put this crystal up here and let it inform our reading. I'll put it this way. Right? I'll put it maybe with these quartz up with the, yeah, that looks good. So I'll make sure that's in the picture. Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle here, and we're gonna do a short reading for pile 1. And I usually am pretty freeform with my readings. We're just gonna see what Spirit wants to say to everyone. And this reading is timeless, so whenever you come to it, it's meant to be yours. I'm also doing the readings on the Uranus station direct in Taurus. It's the last path Uranus will take through Taurus. It actually happens to be on my Uranus opposition as well. So I've had 3 Uranus oppositions this year. It occurred during my 43rd year in life. I am 44 right now. And it's been interesting. I had some really challenging astrology the past couple years, so it's not really been, it's actually been like much easier than what I have been experiencing, but interesting nonetheless. The Uranus opposition is interesting energy, especially occurring when it's stationing exactly on your natal Uranus. So I'm curious to see what my life will be like after today. Hopefully more ease, but we'll see. Interesting energy coming out so far. Okay, pile 1. Wow. So we have the 3 of Swords came out sideways, turned towards the left. And then we had the Sun and the Page of Cups. And the Queen of Swords and the 8 of Swords. So really, really powerful energy. And I hope those are all in the frame for you. I'm feeling into this, and I feel like you're coming through a point where your heart has been really broken in the past, and you have been really, really doing a lot of inner work, and you've done great with that. You've been doing a lot of inner child work, because this heartbreak feels really deep, like it might have been something that has come from your childhood and possibly the relationships that you had with your parents, and that you really, really tried to shift the script, so to speak, of the energy that you feel like you've been born into. And with the 3 of Swords coming through here, turn towards the left, you see this rainbow on that side of the heart. So the rainbow is pointing upwards. So that lets me believe that the storm is clearing for you, and that it has been a struggle for you, but in essence, the energy that you're wanting to experience has always been available to you, but you've been almost in some self-sabotage energy and making decisions that really weren't for your best. So we have this concept. I'm a trauma-inspired therapist in actual somatics. I do osteopathic manual therapy work, which soma means body. So it's actually working with the body and the organs and the nervous system, and how the body truly manifests emotion in the physiology and the anatomy. So, oftentimes people that have had a lot of traumatic experience, they will feel more comfortable making a decision that keeps their nervous system in a state of anxiety or stress, because that's what they know and that's what feels comfortable to them, even though of course it doesn't feel good, but it feels normal, So when you really start embodying yourself and you realize that you unfortunately sometimes cannot even trust your intuition, because your intuition might be causing you to make choices that are just on the status quo, then you really start to lift out of that experience of the trauma cycle or the drama cycle, and you start to make choices that are consciously for your stability and your best future forward. So that has been happening for you. And I feel like this 8 of Swords energy is something that you've been stepping out of, that like stuckness. But the 8 of Swords, she's surrounded in all these swords and she has this blindfold. So that's that energy of your nervous system and your intuition making decisions for you that keep you stuck and you don't even see it. And it's almost like it's the neural structure that you've been living in, so it doesn't resonate that there's another reality and there's other choices that you could be making that for yourself and for your community, your immediate community, that could be so much more supportive for you. So you've been a bit Queen of Swords, and this Queen of Swords, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of hard to see her expression, but she looks a little like excited and almost frenetic, like she is outgoing and aware and not coming from a malicious place or a negative place, but she is making decisions and cutting things out of her life that were actually really good for her, and she didn't realize that. But she's very resilient, so she was able to basically create new pathways through those choices, but it still kept her stuck in a state where she hasn't necessarily been healed. You know, she's been healing, but she hasn't been healed yet. So, you know, you're moving forward into this energy that is really, really much more vibrant and supported, and really has that essence of joy, like boundless joy arising. You know, that tapping into that energy of those unencumbered moments of expression and experience before the stresses really piled onto you and all that responsibility. So, you know, of course, like if you're an adult, you have to be responsible for things. That's not going to end, but you're going to be able to access that joyful place much more often, where that feels like it's been out of access for you. Like you've been sort of on the outside looking in, and there's like all this magic here, subterranean, and in your soul, in your heart, that you've just sort of been looking at and not able to actualize and express. So that's about to change for you. So let's get a couple more cards about, I just looked at the bottom of the deck, so I'll put that down. That's Temperance. And that kind of references here, we have Sagittarius energy. That references here this, you know, opening up that box and letting that joy out, letting that energy help align you with your soul's path, like the pure path of your soul. Which also, you know, you need to have your human free will aligned with that as well to be able to actualize that guidance from your soul's energy. So a little bit of patience and openness to your situation shifting, but also, you know, an active opening on your part, being aware of those decisions that you make. And, you know, when you're forced with a decision, any decision, start asking yourself, where is this answer coming from? Is this the most supportive answer I could be choosing for myself right now? And recruiting help from friends, and 3 of Coins and 6 of Coins. So yeah, recruiting help from your community and aligning with partners that will help support that vision and be a good, positive influence on you. If you have people in your life that have been lowering your vibration, or if you have been intentionally dimming your light to fit into any kind of social circles, now is the time to really rebalance that. And, you know, this card in particular, this 6 of Coins, I always kind of look at it and think there's a lot of growth here, but this could also be, you know, unfortunately some people are really into right now marijuana, edibles, and smoking, and then also ayahuasca. So this can be like a plant medicine where you think that you're making choices in doing the plant medicine that, you know, helps you connect and open things up within yourself, but it's actually not really helpful for you, and it's actually disconnecting you with your source consciousness and your access to source, because you don't need anything except what's inside you to connect with pure source energy. And a lot of times the plant medicines actually physiologically will prevent you from really actualizing that potential, because it creates a situation where your body, your physiology has to actually detoxify from those experiences. And that creates more work for your system, and it's honestly just a distraction for your nervous system. I don't advocate for plant medicines, especially on a regular basis. You know, and if you want to try it once, or, you know, once in a while or something like that, that's one thing. But really, when you're doing it, do it with some skeptical energy, and not that confirmation bias that's going to want to make you think that it's beneficial, because oftentimes it's only creating a situation where you can trauma bond to either the practitioner that you're working with or to the substance. And, you know, any substance can be abused. And a lot of times the plant medicine, it turns into more of like a drug-seeking behavior, unfortunately. I see that in a lot of people in the community and my clients, unfortunately, that are doing that type of work with other therapists. So we had these two come out. So the Fountain, again, that is confirmed. That's a total confirmation of what I just said. And I'll actually read to you what that card says, because this card is in particular unique to this deck. So it's a really special card. Let me find it really quick. And the symbol for it is an infinity symbol. And actually, I have on my website a free access to the energetic analemmas of the organs. So the infinity is an actual analemma, which is the path that the sun and the moon take through the sky, if you've ever seen that figure 8 path. And I have a free offering that gives illustrated descriptions of all of the organs and their energetic pathway that they take through the body, which is also in the shape of an analemma. So this card in particular, on top of that, is a confirm of what I just said, that those plant medicines might be actually doing more harm to most people than they think they are, and that it is just basically an illusion of connection with yourself and with the divine. Yeah, I have a whole lot of thoughts on that. So comment below if you agree or disagree. Would love to start the conversation. So the Fountain card, it says, to just be. The fountain exists outside and beyond the cycles of birth, death, time, and form. It is the nameless, changeless source of which everything is a part. It is the waking from the dream of separateness and identity, and the recognition of oneself as not only connected to all things, but all things divine in nature. When the fountain appears in your reading, relinquish all illusion of control and remain quiet. It invites you to observe, master less, and to just be, effortless and indistinguishable from life. You are the voice and breath of universes. Its meaning is oneness, a moment of cosmic clarity, fully awake, and the end of seeking. An enlightened being, surrender to that which you are, whole and perfect. So you do not need any substance outside yourself. You just need alignment of what's inside of you. And that's actually the work that I do in my advanced manual therapy. And I teach it in a set of online courses. I teach the theory that I developed and practiced from, called the elementalAdvanced method. And I also teach techniques. Right now I have the wood element course, which is great for this year of the wood snake that we just entered into. It was Lunar New Year yesterday. And that course gives you everything you need to know about your nervous system, acupressure points, the vagus nerve complex, trauma-informed therapy, trauma-informed theory, and I give you also 49 techniques, actual techniques that you can do on yourself and your family. And if you are a licensed healthcare practitioner, licensed to touch people in manual therapy, you can also use them with your clients. And if you are a licensed healthcare practitioner that does not have a license to touch, you can then create a different awareness inside yourself from the courses that will help you align with other practitioners that you can refer to if you see any of those clients that you have that might need this work. So we have one more card. And, ooh, it's the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you have everything that you need. And you're about to shine. You are about to shine. This year is going to be excellent for you. You're going to be embodied. You're going to have support. She's got a little familiar black cat right behind her. So you're going to have support potentially of some animals or loved ones that have passed that are backing you up in spirit, that finally see you getting to this point where you have been all your life, but you're actually going to be able to shine it to the world, which it's always been inside you. but potentially you've had a hard time being seen, and that's also been an issue for you as well. The feeling like you need to be seen or heard, and that is about to happen. So just embody that state of grace. Like this Queen of Wands, to me, I feel like is a state of grace. So that has been your reading, pile one. What a beautiful reading. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Please, if you haven't already liked the video, go ahead and do so. It really helps boost the algorithm. It helps you get picked up by the algorithm. Feel free to comment below and check out the links I have in the description of the video, because there might be some offerings there, like I said, that you would be interested in. And I have some paid offerings, but there are a few free offerings as well. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to contact me through that contact information I have listed as well. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, pile two, you chose the prismatic clear quartz with iron deposits and the Smith-Waite Tarot. So I'll go ahead and give this a shuffle. And I hope everyone's been having a nice 2025 so far. I know the energy has been very erratic and a little bit strange. Let's see what card this is that wants to come out. Ooh, the Six of Cups reversed. We'll put that over here. Start that there. And these are just going to be short energy tune-in readings to the energy today, which is the Uranus stationing direct in Taurus. But also this energy applies to whenever time frame and whenever you're able to come to the reading and get called to listen to it. And I read just sort of guided by the energies that I feel like picking up, and I do card placements also just by intuition, whatever my guides are telling me, and I just, whatever I feel like is the way that the cards want to be placed and come out. And we're gonna get just a couple more. I know there's been quite a bit of challenge in 2025 so far for a lot of people. And January in particular, the month that I'm in right now reading this, has been a little bit erratic in ways for a lot of the population and the collective. There has been a lot of whipsaw and pendulum swinging as far as energy goes. So let me just tune in here. So it seems like we have kind of like a one step forward, one step back kind of false start energy happening in this pile. And it feels like there is some good blessings trying to come to us, but right now, just because of nothing to do with ourselves, that there is somewhat of a collective energy that's prohibiting, like kind of grabbing back that good energy and the change that's wanting to take shape. So for this reading, I think you have probably been going through quite a bit of challenge and really trying to make some progress, but you've had to have a lot of patience, and that has a little bit destabilized the confidence you have on the path that you're on. But it does seem like you are on the right path, and there just needs to be some more concerted work and effort put in before you're able to really realize your manifestations. So we do have the Chimera here and a lot of healing in the Two of Cups happening eventually, but it just seems like you're waiting on a really the wrapping up of the turning of course from energy that has been sort of destabilizing and preventing you from real full actualization. And that seems to have a lot to do with some control and dominating patriarchal energies. This King of Wands, to me, I feel like has been sort of towering over that fiery masculine energy. That's really the negative aspects of the King of Wands, like really focused on control. I think that's been really towering over this Magician energy, which is your direct manifestations. And that has been causing some disappointment. So that Seven of Coins, you know, it feels like going from this Eight of Coins where you've been working so hard into the Seven of Coins. It almost feels like you're going backwards and you just can't manifest right now. And that has led to a lot of disappointment. So there is a better day on the horizon. We have both of these rows as I'm reading them in a clockwise fashion, ending in a coming together and stability and building of partnerships. So that is the energy that you're moving towards, and it is coming towards you. So I'm just gonna move the camera just a little bit so it doesn't get bumped as much. It's getting bumped by the table when I'm talking and describing things. So hopefully that will be a little bit more stable for you. The pole that was holding the camera was right on the table, so it was getting a lot of motion. So I'm gonna take some cards from the Fountain Tarot and see if we can identify what Spirit's asking you to do or to be to get those outcomes that you really want and to manifest. What you're really feeling is equitable and in alignment with the energy that you've been working towards and that you've been trying to actualize. It just isn't coming forward for you. So yeah, the Three of Wands. This Three of Wands in particular with the Fountain Tarot is that pulling in energy. It's a little bit more aggressive. It does have the patience of the Three of Wands of the original Smith-Waite or Rider-Waite Tarot. But it has more power to it. So instead of waiting for the ships to come in like the original Three of Wands, this is really kind of like tractor beaming it in. So right now you're being called to maybe even take a digital detox and really focus on being in the energy that you see yourself inhabiting in, 3 months from now, and really what you want to pull into your experience and try to tractor beam it in with that energetic pull and that magnetism. And, I always caution when people say, oh, well, once you're in alignment and you're embodying the energy, it'll come to you, because I think that is in essence part of this, patriarchal energy of victim blaming. Because you could totally be in alignment and be working very hard to manifest in the 3D, the things that you're interested in seeing in your life, but it's still not becoming along, and it doesn't have anything to do with you. It literally has to do with the collective energies around you and that energy shift that we're going through from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, and that real direct distorted masculine energy that wants to control and dominate, that's rooted in principles of greed and accumulation, and it doesn't realize that energy is ultimately disintegrating. So once you accumulate so much, there is an evulsion process that naturally things will come into play that will start to take it away from you, because the imbalance has been created with the abundance of accumulation. If it's not flowing correctly and in its right place. So that's what we're kind of going through now. And here's a Nine of Wands. So this again is a really action oriented card. In the traditional Nine of Wands, it speaks of sort of nothing you can do but defend yourself from some kind of energy that you've been noticing and observing almost. And in this Nine of Wands, it's using that challenge and, you know, feeling stuck, feeling trapped. It's using that to actually tip the wands on their side and climb out of them like a ladder, and dismantling them as you get to the top to then break down establishment and really create a new energy for the world that you want to be living in. And that is seen through this card, through that white prism that comes through. So that's pretty powerful. Both of these cards say that the energy you need to be inhabiting to help move your life forward and get those changes made is a very powerful internal fire that you need to cultivate, and kind of keep your eyes on the prize, like really, really focus and be open to receiving divine guidance of the actions that you need to take to step yourself out of that. And you might already have that coming through to you, and it might seem like there's nothing you can do right in this moment to get through to that next level, but it's, you know, that's where the game of patience comes in. You know, this guy is secure and he's got this big rope. He knows it's coming in. He knows his future's coming towards him, and he is consistently pulling that in. So he's got the fortitude to maintain that vision, and he's patient waiting for that to happen. And then when he needs to, he does take the ladder and step out. So there's going to be certain things coming into your life, certain people or opportunities that are presented to you, and it may seem like a big leap for you. It may seem like this is going to be out of your comfort zone, but it's something that you need to explore, and it's something that you need to really lean into, because that is trying to help you out of the stuck energy that you've been in. So we're going to take one more card from this deck to see if there's any more information that we can get. And this card came out on its side. So we have that Four of Cups, and this is a card of in this deck it's like significant disappointment. And you know, he's sitting there looking at the work that he's done and not really seeing that much more manifestation, and thinking that, you know, he's already kind of been through these cups and he's not even realizing that there's one more left. So you might have one more real challenge that your soul needs to experience that is going to be brought to you to help move this forward, to help move that energy forward for you. But it's going to be something that you will have the experience to handle and manage and move through, because you've already been through at least 3 experiences that have helped you directly in gaining the wisdom and fortitude to be able to handle this one more that's coming. But it does look like your energy is kind of over it. You know, you just want it to come along, but it's just not there yet. So more patience is required, and it's okay to feel a little bit resentful for that. It's okay to feel a little bit of grief, because you have been doing and you've given so much. But, you know, don't furnish that rut. They say it's okay to be in a rut, but just don't furnish it. And this one also wanted to come out. So how are we going to be directly dealing with that Four of Cups energy and that resentment that might pop up, that could potentially keep us in a state that might not allow us to receive guidance and the next steps forward? Four of Swords. So yeah, really rest. 4 and 4. So, you know, 4 is a very stable number, you know, and the Four of Wands here. So, you know, 44 might be a big number for you. If you see 44, that might be some guidance for you as well. But yeah, this Four of Swords, and, you know, this guy on this card, that one sword that's in front of him has a little black bird on it. So that also might be an indication for you, some kind of message that, you know, when you see a blackbird and you might get some divine inspiration or an idea, you know, certainly if you do have an experience like that, try to write those ideas down. And, you know, this person, he's just resting and waiting, but he's in a position of rest where he can actualize, like he can get up from that lotus sitting position and, you know, bound up when the time is ready. And, you know, he's just being guided to wait patiently right now and wait for those opportunities to come in, but then really jump on them. Like, you know, don't be afraid to step out of that comfort zone. So I feel like that is the reading for today for pile 2. And if you feel called to any of the other readings and piles, go ahead and listen to those as well. And here I'll give you just another little look of this beautiful crystal. It almost looks like ice, and there's just so much color in it. I don't know if you can see that through the camera, but the color in the rainbow that just focal through this prism is just really impressive. It's such a interesting piece, and there's a little bit of citrine, like really deep citrine there. And this this area in particular that I found these crystals with the iron inclusions or iron crust on them, it's actually an area where garnets can be found as well. So there looks like a little bit of tourmaline potentially in this area as well. And yeah, it was a great crystal dig. So I'll just give you a couple minutes to, or a couple seconds to sit with that energy. Okay, thank you, pile 2. And I look forward to reading for you again. Please hit the like and subscribe and share if you have not already. And I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile 3. You have chosen the Field Tarot, which is one of my favorites. If you've been watching the channel, I've been using it quite a bit lately. And you have chosen also the citrine. This is a natural citrine point, and it's got so many cool inclusions. It's almost looking like rutilated. You can see a lot of gold flecks, and I see like a icy blue reflected in it. It is just amazing. I don't know if you can see that, if I can turn it around and get this side reflection. So take a little moment to vibe off this energy. The crystals that I picked up in Arkansas in April of 2024, I did so 4 days after the total solar eclipse that went over the area, and they have the most angelic vibe. So I have quite a few of them. If you're interested in picking one up, feel free to contact me from the links below, and I can send you some pictures. And these crystals were hand harvested by me. They've only had one hand touching them besides the ground, so that's really rare and wonderful because you oftentimes never really know where your crystals are coming from. And then I also have quite a few of these citrine pieces, so it's, they range from darker orange to lighter orange. I also have what I'm calling a white rose quartz, and it is just the most amazing divine energy for self-care and self-love and heart opening. And you can almost see in this one actually like angel wings. I don't know if you can see that there. I'll have to look back at the video how this is all picking up. And of course there's a lot of clear quartz and white quartz, and I even have some smoky quartz. I have big pieces and little pieces, and actually there's a piece right here that's one of the larger clusters. Let me reach for it and get that for you. So I have a lot of pieces like this that are a little bit larger. So gosh, it was so fun. I dug around the dirt with a deer antler and pulled out all of these amazing crystals. So yeah, it was a dream. Highly recommend Arkansas. This was all harvested around the Mount Ida area on some land that is a friend of mine, so it's not an active mine, It's just a hill in the forest that we hiked up and brought all these crystals down. So yeah, so I will put this back, or actually let's have it as part of the reading. There we go. So yeah, and you chose the field tarot. So I'll put that citrine, let's point it towards the reading. There we go. And I'll go ahead and shuffle for you. So this reading is being done on the day that Uranus stations direct in Taurus. And this is the third pile. The reading so far have been very different. So if you do feel resonating with any other of the readings of the piles, go ahead and watch those. Uranus is actually stationing direct right on my natal Uranus opposition. So this is a big time for people in their late 30s, early 40s. I guess I got mine late than most people because I read 38 to 42 and mine has been 43 to 44. I'm 44 right now. But I've had 3 Uranus oppositions because of the retrograde. And honestly, this past year hasn't been as wild as the years before. So I don't know. I was prepared by some of the other astrology. It was much worse for me the past couple years. So this has actually been kind of a tame year, to be honest. I've appreciated it, which is kind of strange because I've heard the Uranus opposition can get pretty gnarly for people. But I am looking forward to my life after this moment, since this is the last time Uranus will be opposing my natal Uranus, and it's stationing direct, exactly opposite. So I'm hoping for some really amazing insights and divine messages coming through. And yeah, it's on my house of partnerships, my 7th house. So hopefully I'll have some shifts and changes, because it's been a little bit hard for me to find quality partnerships in all areas of life. So here we go. More coming out. These cards are beautiful. They're my favorite deck of the decks that I used today. So this reading might be for me. Maybe I'll claim this is my reading. I do love all my natural citrine, but the pile number 1 was really good too. And I love the rainbow prismatic clear quartz. That was pile number 2. So I love all of them. I love them. Okay, let me move this up into the frame for you all. So, okay, hopefully you can see that. Yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna shuffle a couple more. Oh, we got 2 more. This is gonna be it for now. Nice. Oh, I just love how this is fit together. Okay. So we had, what came out first was the 2 of Wands, planning. And then we had the Prince of Cups, introspection, which is the Knight of Cups. And 6 of Wands, success. 8 of Cups, retreat. 5 of Cups, disappointment. Prince of Discs, reliability, and 8 of Wands, movement. So let me just feel into this energy. Okay, so I feel like the energy of this reading is somewhat tied to, I believe it was the 2nd pile, but there's a little bit, so this is kind of a continuation from the 2nd pile. So if you haven't read that and you felt like it resonated, you might want to go back and listen to that if you haven't listened to it. And that energy was more of like fits and starts a little bit, one step forward, one step back, and kind of just staying in place. Like it feels like kind of a stuck energy you've been in the past while. And it's caused you to do a lot of introspection, which has been different than what your normal MO has been, your mode of operating, which is more action oriented. So you've had to step back and do a lot of introspection. You've had to ask yourself, you know, what life do you really want to be living? What are you working towards here? Is that working for you? Is it the best decision? And, you know, you've had to really reevaluate what your definition of success is. And, you know, a lot of us in modern times, especially in America, where I am, we get very preoccupied and distracted with success being only associated with financial gain, which it is most definitely not. And, you know, you've had to really find your sense of success in other areas, which has been super beneficial for you because it's really made you more galvanized in what you bring to the table and what you offer. So you've kind of turned your back against that traditional formal definition of success and really, really sat with the energy that you have. And, you know, maybe there has been some disappointment because your success and what you've been working towards hasn't been financially like lucrative for you just yet. But you have had the opportunity to really come together within yourself, and you value yourself so much more now, where you can now be an advocate for not only yourself and what you bring to the table, but other people as well, and really, really help shift those definitions of what, you know, of what society deems successful or important, you know? So you've been able to create a good defense of what you know is true and right and within your integrity. And you've been able to realize that the Prince of Discs is the the Knight of Coins, and you've been given a lot of support by the universe to help you through getting to those points of revelation and realization. And more good energy and good actual tangible items are coming to you as a result of that. So you just need to wait a little bit longer because those arrows have been launched and they are on their way. They're on their way. Just takes spirit a little bit to orchestrate how that comes into your life. And unfortunately, if you've had the experience where you've ever felt like, you know, some opportunity was presented to you, but no fault of your own, it just didn't actualize, those were those arrows coming towards you. And the energy is such right now that so many people are so disconnected, and no matter how connected you are and how stable you are and aligned you are within yourself, there are going to be people that the universe has orchestrated to help you along your path that have not been doing their work. And it's like this fire that just won't light, you know, like trying to like strike a match and it just won't go. And it's not the fault of your own. So it's not that you aren't able to ignite these situations in your life. It's just that what you're working with isn't appropriate, or at an appropriate space and energy to receive that guidance that's trying to orchestrate on both ends these aspects in the tangible. So you know, it's been really hard to pull down 3D manifestations while there's a lot of conflict energy in the collective, which is creating a situation where it's stressing people out. It's creating an energetic disconnection to where people aren't aligned with divine guidance and what decisions they're meant to be making as part of their human experience. You know, it's like a lot of people are in a not only self-sabotage, but a community sabotage mindset that is really focused on too much on their own ego and not enough in how their personal ego is a part of the collective energy and the collective humanity. So that's just something that we have to wrestle with, and we have to be patient as, you know, certain arrows are launched. If they don't hit, if they're not a strike, then more arrows are always being launched. The universe is always multitasking, multi-managing. It's the greatest project manager there ever was, and it's orchestrating something to come into you. And asking for direct guidance is also very helpful. So, you know, the universe does have a big list of to-dos, and if you want to call out some attention, we have a lot of blue energy circulating through this, which is like Archangel Michael energy. So if you want to call some attention, call on your angels and your guides to really ask for help and service, to help you get to where you need to be, to help you then actualize your best self. And if other people in your community aren't where they need to be, to give you the strength to move community or call in new established relationships and work towards new partnerships, because some people are not meant to be in your life forever, and some people are meant to evolve and progress in different ways. And you could be in a situation where you really need to call in different guides, which means different people in your friend community too, potentially also maybe drawing some boundaries between your family and the, you know, the forest and the community that you came from, and striking out on your own in ways. Like, yeah, that's another message that's coming through, that striking out on your own. So let's get a couple more cards to help guide where the energy is moving and help guide what we can do to be open to receiving. So, Seven of Cups, choices. Is that one card? Yep. And perspective, which this is the Hanged Man card. I always want to call it the moon because there's that amazing moon. But this is the Hangman card. So, Seven of Cups, choices, and perspective. So, yeah, really working on aligning yourself. And it seems like you might have been under some illusions in the past, but you should have a lot of clarity coming in, where if you have been under some illusions, you should have clarity coming in to help dismantle that structure, that neural structure, and help guide you into a different alignment of a totally different place of making decisions. And you'll see that manifested in your life in strange ways. Like, for instance, recently I've been going out to dinner occasionally, and sometimes I used to go out to dinner quite a bit, and I'd choose something to eat, and then I get it, and it was like not really what I wanted, or maybe my friend had something where I felt like, oh, that would have been a better decision, you know? But at the time, I felt like that was what I wanted to choose to eat, but then I got it, and I realized I wasn't necessarily satisfied with that. And, you know, where that energy came from, it was almost like something was pulling the wool over my eyes, or some kind of like illusion energy was there, where I made this decision thinking, you know, from a certain perspective, and then wasn't happy with the result. And recently I've had a lot of energy shift in my life. I think probably part of that is that Uranus opposition energy that I've been going through this year. And I've been realizing that I've been choosing things on menus that I don't think I would normally have chosen, and I choose it, and I'm kind of like, that's different. That's definitely like not something that I would have thought to order, but it just feels like what I want right now, and I'm gonna honor that. And I get it, and it's like so delicious, and it's exactly what I would have wanted to get, and I'm very happy with the money that I spent for that purchase. And you know, because the worst thing is when you go out to dinner and you spend kind of a lot of money in America, that is the case, and it's really not that great, you know, you're like, oh, I could have made this better at home. But I've been going out to dinner, and I've been really happy and really kind of shocked, and noticing that it's a decision that was made from a different place within me energetically. So you might have those happenings and observations about yourself coming over the next year or so. And Yeah, this is a powerful card. I've actually never pulled this card in this deck before, so let me just feel into it for a second. The Nine of Swords, fear, and she's just sleeping. She's just like unbothered, unbothered, unfazed. She's sleeping, and she has a little bit of fire in her hair. So that makes me think that like you're doing a lot of work in dream time that has been reprogramming your mental structure. And all of these little swords are meant to symbolize like the neural pruning that goes on when we are dreaming, when we're asleep, and we're actually able to get a full night's plus sleep. So if you are not a person that prioritizes your sleep, start doing that. You know, if you have children and you have obligations that get you up in the middle of the night, see if you can work with your partner or some support that you have in your life to allow at least one evening where you're able to get a full 8 hours, if that is something that you feel like you don't usually get, or even 10 or 12 hours, honestly. Like, especially if you've been feeling under the weather, if you are able to just lean into that and sleep as long as your body wants to sleep, that is something that you're being called to do right now, because it's reorganizing your neural structure and it's helping you actually like legitimately become a different person, making different choices from different energy. So different choices from a different perspective. And I think that that will maybe feel a little scary to you, to help to be in the energy of prioritizing yourself. But you need to lean into that. So that is what I'm getting from this card. And that is a really interesting message. So actually, I often will do a short meditation before I fall asleep and right when I first wake up. And you might get some divine guidance when you first wake up. So these 9 swords often also are indicative of information coming. So information is going to be coming to you while you're sleeping, and you can access that in the early dawn hours when you're sort of lucid. And if you look up in my channel, this meditation technique I have called Focus on the Third Eye, you can do that. And it's a really quick alignment, energetic alignment that you can do. And it opens up your perception to other dimensions. So as long as you are doing that with the intention of aligning yourself with source energy directly and creating that closed circuit, that is really healthy for you. You don't want to open it up to other dimensions and potentially negative experiences or entities attaching to you. You don't want to do that. But really set the intention of you focusing in on opening up a channel just for you for divine guidance. And I'm going to take a card from the Fountain Tarot. I'm being called just to wrap up this energy and see if there's any other guidance that we have. So I used the Fountain Tarot with the first reading. So if you feel like called to listen to that, go ahead. Oh gosh, 3 came up. Wait, yeah, 3 came up. So 6 of Wands. We have a complete reorganization of your energy structure coming through right now. Like this is like flipped upside down. The Tower, very Uranian energy there. Yes, lots of storms coming through to reorganize and then get you to that place, that 10 of Cups place where you're balanced in transition, where you're at the top of your game, you're full of emotional energy that you can then project outward and shine. So this is going to be really, really powerful for you coming up, pile 3, this whole process that you're going through. And a lot of that, like I said, will be happening through dream time, where, you know, you might be feeling like you wake up and you're just like in a different world. So hopefully you're able to tap into that energy that you have accessible for you right now. And if you liked this reading, please comment below. I'd really love to hear from you. If you'd like to purchase any crystals, go ahead and get in touch with me. And like, share, subscribe. I would love to do some more of these pick a card, sort of choose your own adventure type readings in the future. So do let me know if you enjoyed it. And if you have any comments of anything I could do to make it better for you, I am totally open to hearing that. And here is some more of that good crystal energy. And I hope that you have an amazing day, and I will see you next time, Pile 3. Bye-bye.